One of the great things about being outside is figuring out how to both stay clean and to respect the environment at the same time. So on this video, we're going to give you a few tips of both how to stay healthy and comfortable as you're following LNT principles. When you're lucky enough to get to pee outside, just make sure that you're far enough away from any water sources and from your campsite. And a pro tip for the ladies, find a spot that's not going to splash.
One of the scariest things when we go outside is thinking about where are we going to poop, and over a weekend you're probably going to need to poop. We hope you do. And it's actually pretty fun. You just need some good materials to wipe with, like a smooth stick or some smooth stones. You could use toilet paper for sure, but you're going to need to pack that out. It doesn't decompose that well, and you don't want to bury it and then find other people's toilet paper all over the place. When you're pooping, you need to be 200 feet from water sources and definitely from camp. You don't want to contaminate your food or your camp with poop. And so you find a nice place like this that's out kind of away from everything, hopefully not close to the trail where you're going to be surprised. The better the view, the better the poop. So definitely encourage a nice view. And having a nice little seat here is also really nice. So I'm going to need some soap to wash my hands, some wiping stones or sticks that are kind of smooth and comfortable. And I'm going to set all this up before I get started. I need water to wash my hands, and I don't want to have to open it with dirty hands, so I'm going to have that open and ready. And then I'm going to want to dig a hole, and if I have an ice axe or something like that, this is really useful to dig a hole quickly. They sell trowels that are pretty useful for that, and you could also just grab the nearest big stick and use something like that, but I'm going to use an ice axe because it's easier. You want to get down 6 to 8 inches. That's where the most microbes are in the soil that are going to help decompose that poop. And of course, you don't want to leave your poop close to the surface where someone might step on it and have an unpleasant day because of your bad decisions. You can see it really doesn't take too long to dig your hole. Nice 6 to 8 inches. Think about how much you've had to eat too. If you have a giant poop and you don't dig big enough of a hole, it's no fun. A pro tip, you're going to see less. If I squat like this, you can't really see anything, right? And if I squat like this, you're going to get full on butt. So make sure you're facing toward people if they're nearby for you and for them. Once I'm here, I'm going to get ready. Pro tip here also, you want to pee before you poop. You don't want to, squat and then have to deal with splatter and things like that. So go pee somewhere comfortably and then settle in for the nice view, the nice outdoor poop experience. You get a nice squat. And when you finish up, you're going to take your wiping sticks, wiping stones. If you have toilet paper, that's fine. Bring a dog bag, something like that. You can use that. And as you use it, just throw that in the hole. Get everything nice and clean. Once I'm ready, I use this hand to wipe with, so that's not going to touch anything. I can use some water here. This is called the backcountry bidet. It's a little awkward, I'm not going to lie, at first. And when you get used to it, it's delightful. You get nice and rinsed off there. And then I can use a little soap. Just a little bit. You don't want a frothy mess. Promise you do not want that. Get it nice and clean. Again, rinse. Boom. And then as you get cleaned up, you're of course going to wash your hands. And just like you'd wash your hands anywhere, I like to do this little knee trick. Again, I'm not touching anything with this hand until it's nice and clean. Get a little soap in this dirty hand here and get a little water. And you of course should be doing this every time you cook. You can do it all day, especially these days. You want to keep your hands nice and clean. You can see nice suds here. Sing yourself a song, whatever it takes. And rinse them off. You can carry a nice little lightweight towel if you want, but these hands are going to dry off pretty fast. Now, I know you're probably imagining my pants were still down because they were simulated down earlier. I've got clean hands. I can pull my pants back up, get a nice stretch, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill the dirt in my hole. Careful not to touch anything. And then I can even kind of put the pine needles back over. This poop's a solid 8 inches down. I should not worry about at all stepping on where my hole was when I cover the poop back up. So sometimes you don't have the option of pooping in a nice hole, which is always the pleasant option for me. You can buy these wag bags. They're not great because you are adding some plastic to the environment, but if you're in a super popular place like maybe Mount Rainier where everybody's pooping, you need to have these. Mount Whitney, they're required. Some places like Joshua Tree, your poop's just not going to decompose in the desert very well. I'm just going to show you real quick what's in this. It's actually pretty nice. Comes with a little bit of toilet paper, a nice little moist towelette to wash your hands with, beefy plastic bag to put the first plastic bag in. And then just like when we dug a hole, instead of digging the hole, you would lay out this bag. It's got some kitty litter in there, which is nice for the odor. You can lay this out, do the old squat. Hopefully it's not too windy. And then when you're done, tie that up, put it in this bag. And once all your trash and poop are in here, make sure it's sealed really well. Get all the air out of it so it doesn't pop in your pack. And then you can put this in the trash bag or pack it out.
Ladies, when you're in the wilderness and on your period, you have a few options. So one we love is called the Diva Cup, and it's a great reusable product that you can use. You only have to empty it twice a day, and you do so similarly as you pee. You dig a cat hole, wash it out, and bury the contents of it. And then you can use boiling water to sanitize at the end of the day. And this is just something that'll last you for years. But you can also use pad or tampon as you usually do. Just be sure you have an airtight container in order to keep it from smelling, because it can attract animals and that can pose a danger.
Some things that we don't bring out here are things like deodorant, makeup, things that you don't really need. And we don't really take showers too much. Sometimes we luck out on a nice lake, we can jump in, rinse off, but there's not a really great way to take a shower. And as long as you're washing up when you go poop, you keep, down here nice and clean. You don't have to worry about infections, and you're washing your hands often. You can go for a long time without a shower. We of course like dental hygiene outdoors just as much as we like it indoors. I love this little toothbrush. Comes in its own container, and this little toothpaste lasts me about a month, so you can get one of those for your kit. Now when you spit out the toothpaste, if you just spit it on the ground, it'll dry out and it'll last for a really long time. So what you want to do is a leave no trace spray, which will disperse that all over the place. You don't have to worry about it getting in little glops on the plants. If you want to clean your toothbrush after a day or two, just throw it in a cup of boiling water while you're making your coffee in the morning.